now on Local 15 Today.
Harvey is long gone, but its path of destruction remains. Thousands evacuated from waterlogged homes are spending this Labor Day cleaning up new health and safety concerns they're facing as the waters recede. And Irma set to intensify, a Cat 3 storm in the Atlantic. But first, breaking news. The largest nuclear test ever done in North Korea, leaving countries around the globe on high alert. And new this morning, South Korea is gearing up, expecting another missile launch by their neighbors to the north very soon. Local 15's Zora Asbury joins us with how South Korea is responding.
Kelly, that's right. It's breaking news this morning. South Korea's defense ministry says North Korea appears to be planning a future missile launch to show off its ability to target the U.S. with nuclear weapons. Right now, it's unclear when this may happen. The acting deputy minister for defense policy told lawmakers in Seoul today that the launch may feature an intercontinental ballistic missile. This is just a day after Pyongyang detonated its largest ever nuclear test explosion. Now, South Korea also fired missiles into the sea to simulate an attack on the North's main nuclear test site. The minister said the live fire drill involving F-15 fighter jets and land-based Hyunwoo ballistic missiles was meant to show South Korea's strong determination and capability. It's all to respond to Pyongyang's provocations. In the breaking news center, Zora Asbury, Local 15 News.
President Trump set to strip 800,000 of their amnesty by ending the Obama-era DACA program. Sources familiar with the decision tell CNN the president won't take any action for at least 6 months, allowing Congress time to come up with a permanent solution. President Trump expected to make a formal announcement Tuesday. President Trump made a second visit to Texas since Harvey hit. On this trip, he spent time with survivors and first responders in Houston and Louisiana Saturday. The president asking Congress for $7.9 billion as an initial disaster relief package. Some estimate the total cost for cleanup and recovery will reach close to $200 billion. As waters recede, many residents across the region are starting the cleanup process. Thousands in Port Arthur, Texas lost everything. Local 15 was there as the Green family walked in their home for the first time since they evacuated. Unfortunately, they let their flood insurance lapse. They resumed payment August 1st, but learned yesterday it was too late.
They called me today and say, "Oh, you're not covered. Allstate." They said, "You're not covered." I said, well, "How am I not?" "Oh, it's not good to the 1st, and it happened 2 days before the 1st.
It's going to be a long road back for the Greens and their neighbors. They say they'll be back later today for day 2 of cleanup. An update on the situation at a chemical plant crippled by Harvey near Houston. A controlled burn was conducted at the Arkema plant in Crosby, Texas. Arkema says there's evidence chemicals inside their trailers are derailing, but some chemicals have not ignited completely. Arkema says it can't determine if the threat is eliminated unless the chemicals are ignited. The facility shut down before Harvey hit last week. Residents within a 1.5 mile radius evacuated as a precaution. Volunteers with the local search and rescue team are on their way to assist victims in the aftermath of Harvey. The Class Kids Foundation has been involved in searches around our area, and now it hopes to help find folks missing after the devastation in Texas.
There's so many missing people. There are so many people that have been displaced and don't have access to communication lines of any sort to let their loved ones know that they are safe if that's the case.
Claus Kids began gathering donations shortly after Harvey hit. They're taking those items, including toiletries, food, and water, to victims as well. The group plans to be on the ground in Houston by Tuesday. Last week, Local 15 hit the streets in Mobile and Baldwin County asking for donations with the Salvation Army and iHeartRadio. Because of your generosity, we have raised more than $50,000 for victims of Harvey. And nationwide, Sinclair raised over $470,000. So we thank you. And you can still support victims of Harvey. Go to our website, local15tv.com. And on the banner at the top of the page, you'll see click here to donate. It'll take you directly to the Salvation Army donation page. But you must click the words "click here to donate," not the picture. Today, by the way, is the last day that you can contribute. All right, here's a look at the live pinpoint Doppler this morning, and we're not looking at any wet weather locally. We have about a 10% chance of a shower right now. We are looking at tropical downpours about 2,500 miles from Mobile, and no surprise because we've got a Cat 3 storm here. Here is Irma, set to become a Cat 4 early tomorrow morning, and this is a tightly wound storm. This is not that big, but boy, is it going to give a punch. It is sustained at 115 miles per hour. It's moving west-southwest at 14. There it goes as a Cat 4. It's going to be moving through the islands as we head into Saturday. It's still going to be a major hurricane, a Category 3, and there's a lot of uncertainty as we head into early Saturday morning. We could see the center of Irma anywhere within this cone of uncertainty, and this could move. So things are very preliminary right now. We just want you to stay tuned into the forecast, and we're going to bring you all the latest up-to-date models. The spaghetti models are trending it a little bit further westward, so we will be watching it every step of the way. And again, we do have a few models beginning to curve it up the east coast of Florida, and then we have others that are keeping it on that western trajectory, which would mean in time the potential for it to move into the Gulf. Golden sunshine at 7, 69 degrees, mid-80s at noon, 90 at 3 o'clock, and by 5 o'clock we're going to be right at 87. Only a slim chance of a shower on this Labor Day Monday. Your time right now is 6:05 and traffic looking good, much quieter than it typically is on a Monday morning when everybody is at work and headed to school, but you can see over the Bayway no accidents to report. The Labor Day holiday marks the end of the summer season, and while most are enjoying the day off from work or school, there are activities taking place around town to help celebrate the holiday. Local 15's Megan Gannon joins us in the studio now with a rundown of all of our local events. So I know a lot of folks are going to be barbecuing in the backyard, hanging out by the pool, but there's things to do in the city too.
That's right, Kelly. So if you're looking for those, I guess, different ways to celebrate the Labor Day holiday, a lot of things going on in and around Mobile that you can go out and enjoy. So happening this morning, the 72nd annual Labor Day Parade, also known as the Toilet Paper Parade, will roll out this morning at 10 o'clock. That parade is hosted by Southwest Alabama Labor Council with more than 2,000 participants tossing local union-made toilet paper provided by Kimberly-Clark's Mobile plant, all to celebrate, obviously, America's working people. The parade route begins at the Civic Center and winds its way to Bienville Square before heading back to the Civic Center. Now, if you're looking to continue your Labor Day fun after the annual parade, you can head on over to the Hank for the Mobile Bay Bears' last game of the season as they are taking on the Biloxi Shuckers. It's also Every Monday Matters at the Hank, which means you can get a free general admission ticket with a donation of 2 non-perishable food items, 2 gently used clothing items, or 2 books. First pitch takes place at 12:05, and again, the Bay Bears looking to take home a win over the Biloxi Shuckers for their final game of the season. If you missed any of this information, do not worry. It is all on our website at local15tv.com. Kelly?
All right, Senator Luther Strange and former Alabama Chief Justice Roy Moore rallying voters ahead of the GOP runoff. Strange and Moore face off September 26 to fill the Senate seat previously held by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Strange endorsed by President Trump and a group linked to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. However, Moore bested Strange by 25,000 votes in the primary. The American workforce rapidly changing, different factors affecting hiring and firing, and the industry quickly becoming the largest in America. A burglary spree in a Mobile neighborhood.
It scared me half to death. I've never been so scared. Never.
How she says she was able to scare the burglar just as much as he scared her. Next.
You're watching Local 15 News, named Best Newscast in the state by the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:10. I like to call this baby breaking news. This morning, this just in, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are welcoming a new baby. This will be Will and Kate's 3rd child together, and officials report that the Duchess is actually suffering from severe morning sickness, as she did with her last 2 pregnancies. Now, the mommy-to-be is receiving royal treatment at Kensington Palace this morning. The newest addition will join her older brother George, who's 4 years old, and sister Charlotte, who is just 2 years old. Now, the Queen and both families are said to be delighted with this news, and once again, congratulations to the Duke and the Duchess. In the Breaking News Center, Zora Asbury, Local 15 News.
An SUV plowed into a Staten Island laundromat Sunday, and it was all caught on camera. You can see the white SUV in the surveillance video back up slowly before accelerating through the front of the business. From another angle, you can see the vehicle drive backward between a row of washing machines, striking people along the way. 6 people were injured, 3 of them seriously, and police say the crash was an accident and that the 74-year-old driver was not charged with the crime. 3 pedestrians lucky to be alive after they were run down by an SUV in Waltham, Massachusetts. In this video, you can see a man and a woman crossing the street when the driver of the SUV appears to suddenly accelerate backwards, hitting them as well as a man who was walking on the sidewalk. There it goes. Woo! 2 of the victims were underneath the SUV when that SUV accelerated again, this time moving forward. Police say, amazingly, all 3 pedestrians are expected to recover. The driver of that SUV, a 60-year-old woman, was not injured. No word if she will be charged. Officer Harold Hurst is resigning from the Mobile Police Department. Hurst is the officer who shot and killed 19-year-old Michael Moore during a traffic stop in June 2016. He's still the subject of an ongoing investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. A neighborhood breathes a sigh of relief after police say a brazen burglar is now behind bars.
First time they stole the Harley Davidson out of the shed. The second time they backed a pickup truck up to the back door and stole the washer and dryer.
In July, Mobile police say 6 homes were broken into on San Souci Road. Carolyn Bryson says she's lucky that she was awake when her home was targeted. She tells us that she was in bed when she heard somebody trying to kick in her back door.
It scared me half to death. I've never been so scared. Never.
This morning, 19-year-old Xavier Shepard faces multiple charges for allegedly burglarizing homes on San Souci Road, Magnolia Road, and Wormley Drive. Police say he also broke into a car. Drugs off the streets of Alberta. Thursday night, police there stopped a car and all 3 people inside were wanted on outstanding warrants. During a search, police found 6 grams of heroin, 20 Xanax bars, $1,400 in cash, drug paraphernalia, and even a pistol. Officials haven't released the suspects' names at this time.
Local 15 weather with meteorologist Kelly Foster.
You are going to love today's Labor Day forecast. Live pinpoint Doppler kind of giving you a hint as to what we can expect for the rest of the day, and that is pretty much dry conditions. Our rain coverage today is going to be at about 10% or less, and we will take it. We've got a lot of action in the tropics, and we are watching Irma this morning, a Category 3 hurricane, 2,500 miles from Mobile. So we have plenty of time to track it. No need to panic, but you do need to know that we have this major hurricane, a Cat 3 for now, unfortunately set to strengthen to a Category 4 early Tuesday. Max sustained winds right now at 115 miles per hour. It is moving west-southwest at a good clip at about 14 miles per hour. Set to become a Cat 4 on Tuesday. And then as it moves through some islands, it's going to weaken to a Cat 3. It's still going to be a major hurricane by early Saturday morning. And here's a look at the cone of uncertainty. Stretching from the east coast of Florida all the way south into the Caribbean. That's where we could see the center. And then the very center of the cone, if it stays on that trajectory in time, it could possibly move into the Gulf of Mexico. So a lot of possibilities. Everything is very preliminary, and we will definitely see some changes. So now is the time to make sure that you have a hurricane plan in place. And the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is stay tuned in to the forecast. Here's a look at the spaghetti models, and you can see right now a lot of the models continue to trend it towards the west. We have several beginning to show it moving a little bit further to the north, and that would mean kind of tracking at the east coast of Florida. So we are going to have a lot more changes to the forecast, so stay with us on it, please. Beautiful sunrise on this Labor Day in Gulf Shores. 7 a.m., 69 degrees. A great day to spend at the beach, too. 86 at noon, 90 will be the high today with a 10% chance of a shower. And back behind Irma, we are watching another area of disturbed weather. Tropical wave has a 70% formation chance over the next 5 days. By the way, the next name up is Jose. And we do have an area of disturbed weather in the southern Gulf that looks to be moving northwest, 30% formation chance. So Labor Day looks great. We'll have a midweek weather maker. Take a look at your hour by hour. This morning it's sunny. 5 o'clock today, no problem. Tuesday morning, a few clouds hug the coast. And then as we head towards 3 o'clock, one lone shower. And then by Wednesday morning, we'll see a few showers impacting our coastline. They will expand in coverage. So we've got about a 60% chance of rain by midweek due to a cold front dropping south. Light chop for our boaters today if you're taking the boat out on this Labor Day. Seas only a foot or less. We'll have an east wind at 5 to 10. There's your 7-day. And the rain's going to be ramping up in between now and midweek. 10% today. Great day to make those outdoor plans. Spend some time at the pool. And then tomorrow, 30%, which is typical for this time of year. Best chance of rain arrives midweek. Here's a look at traffic for you, and as we give you a live look inside the Wallace Tunnel, no slowdowns to show you. Our next stop this morning is going to be over the Bayway at the Daphne exit. So far so good as far as accidents. Traffic looking pretty light for this hour of the morning due to the fact it's Labor Day. I-10 at DIP looks delightful.
Our Labor Day coverage continues, and people across the country will spend today celebrating the unofficial end of summer. But the real reason for the national holiday is to honor the labor movement and American workers. Our national correspondent Michelle Macaluso takes a look at the labor workforce today and how it's changing.
Labor Day is more than just end of summer vacations, barbecues, and sales. It's about celebrating American workers. Last month, the U.S. economy added 156,000 jobs, fewer than economists expected, but with big gains in manufacturing. 36,000 more positions, according to the Labor Department.
Buy American and hire American.
President Trump has promised to create more jobs in manufacturing. But U.S. labor history expert Joe McCartan believes those days are over because of the impact of globalization and technology.
Well, we can't be nostalgic about a past that's not going to be possible for us to recreate. We're never going to have a coal industry as we once had. We're never going to have a steel industry that employs as many people as that industry once did.
One of the fastest growing fields in America is healthcare. About 20,000 more jobs were added to the industry last month.
1 of every 8 workers is employed in healthcare in the United States.
Some other big changes in the labor force is more work is being contracted out, and part-time work is becoming more common than full-time work. Meanwhile, wage growth was slower. Average hourly wages rose 3 cents last month, up 2.5% a year ago.
They've been suffering from years of wage stagnation. Though the economy has begun to grow at a faster rate recently, a lot of the new jobs that are being created in lower paying parts of the economy.
Some experts propose reducing the work week, a way that could grow the economy, and surely something most Americans would be happy to get on board with. In Washington, I'm Michelle Macaluso.
San Francisco is sizzling, record-breaking triple-digit heat, putting lives at risk. New ways the city is using old tools to keep people cool. And a miracle in the aftermath. A man finds his fiance's wedding dress untouched in his flooded Texas home. How he stored it that saved it from the storm.
About what's inside. There might be a little dust on the bottom, but it's one of those things that gets sweeter with time.
Good morning, everybody. It is 6:22. Looking gorgeous on this Labor Day. We're going to have lots of sunshine for the holiday. Don't forget the sunscreen.
Supplies are running out, along with your still alive. 6 to 8 years to arrive, and if you follow them, maybe out tomorrow. But if the authors shine, you might as well be walking on the sun. You might as well be walking on the sun. You might as well be walking on the sun.
Los Angeles burning. Right now, firefighters there working hard to save homes as they battle the largest wildfire ever inside city limits. The so-called La Tuna Canyon fire sparked Friday. Now it's spreading to more than 5,000 acres. The mayor declaring a local state of emergency. The fire is fueled by scorching temps, low humidity, and red flag winds. More than 1,000 firefighters were trying to stop the spread, creating containment on the ground and dropping retardant from the air. Stay Cool is turning into a life or death mission in other parts of California.
So it's about 101 here today, and it was going to be about 112 in Castro Valley.
San Francisco sizzling with record-breaking triple-digit temps. So hot, Mayor Edley designated the 6 city-run pools as cooling centers. Great idea. The city also providing air conditioning and ice water at 3 Salvation Army locations, along with the Jewish Community Center. Heavy rain and flash flooding after Harvey causing rivers and waterways to rise in Tennessee.
Hey, I better stay back, probably.
Take a look at this dramatic video. You see a boat and its dock carried down the Cumberland River. This runaway dock near Ashland City was no match for the bridge, though. It crashes into the concrete and continues on its way, completely destroyed. Fortunately, nobody was injured. And a Texas firefighter saw his wedding plans go underwater thanks to Harvey, but his fiancée will still have a dress to wear to say I do. A small miracle in the aftermath. Her wedding dress is the only thing in their house that did not get soaked. As the water in Kyle Perry's Beaumont home began to rise Monday, he stuffed the wedding dress in a wardrobe on his way out, hoping it would stay dry, and it did. He found it Thursday hanging just inches from the water with not a stain on it. The couple was set to get married next week, but with only the dress left, they have postponed the wedding. All right, here's a look at the local radar, and on this Labor Day, it's going to be picture perfect if you have outdoor plans, if you want to take the boat out, if you're going to be at the beach or even in the backyard at the pool or grilling out, enjoying the sunshine. We're going to have lots of it today. Our rain threat today will be at 10% or less, so really take advantage because we are going to have some showers coming in on Tuesday. Tropics are heating up. We're looking at Irma, a Category 3 hurricane this morning, more than 2,000 miles from Mobile. It is currently moving west-southwest at 14 miles per hour at a good clip. Watch what happens. Set to become a Category 4 early Tuesday. It's going to move through these islands, and then by early Saturday morning, still a major hurricane at a Category 3. A lot of time for change here. We'll be watching Saturday extremely close because if we see Irma begin to bend a little bit further to the north, she could ride up the coast of Florida, the east coast of Florida. But if she stays on more of a south to a western trajectory, she could potentially be moving into the Gulf. So very preliminary right now. We'll continue to watch it every step of the way. And the spaghetti models right now, again, this is just 5 days out, continue to trend it towards the west. So a lot of change expected with Irma. So we want you to stay tuned into the forecast and have your hurricane plan in place just in case. Here's your planning forecast. 69 degrees, very refreshing this morning. Golden sunshine at 7, 86 at noon. Your high today is going to be seasonal at 90, and by 5 o'clock, 87 degrees. We'll be back after the break.
Now on Local 15 Today.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kelly Foster. Accelerating threats from North Korea and why China is calling President Trump's response unacceptable. And picking apart Harvey destruction. Thousands evacuated from waterlogged homes, spending this Labor Day cleaning up. New health and safety concerns as they face the water's recession. And here's a look at the radar locally, and on this Labor Day, it is looking high and dry, no wet weather on deck. In fact, our rain coverage today is going to be at about 10% or less, so make those outdoor plans, enjoy the sunshine. Here's a look, though, at the tropics, and we continue to track Major Hurricane Irma, a Category 3. By the way, it's about 2,500 miles from Mobile right now. It is tightly wound and it is powerful. It is set to strengthen into a Category 4 as we head into early Tuesday. Right now it's moving west-southwest at 14 as we head into early Saturday morning. It is still going to be a major hurricane, and where it will go from this point is yet to be determined. We can see the center of circulation anywhere within this cone of uncertainty. So we have plenty of time to watch it, make sure that you have your hurricane plan in place just in case we see this move into the Gulf of Mexico. As we take you through the next 5 days with the spaghetti plots, they are trending west. We do have some of them moving closer to South Florida. Here's your planning forecast today, though. Golden sunshine at 7. What a gorgeous sunrise in Gulf Shores. 69 degrees by noontime, 86. A stray shower at 3 with a high today of 90. And then by 5 o'clock, we're going to be right at 87 degrees. Here's a look at traffic for you this morning. So far, so good. Government Street, nice and quiet as a lot of folks are sleeping in as they are out of school today. School's out and some folks are off work. Alabama under a state of emergency to prevent price gouging on gas in the wake of Harvey. Governor Kay Ivey amended a previously issued declaration Friday, putting companies on notice that price gouging is illegal. The governor says the storm temporarily shut down oil refineries in Texas and Louisiana, causing a spike in state gas prices. However, she says the stress on refineries does not justify the unreasonable prices. Gas prices on the rise, and the high prices will last at least another day. A major pipeline that delivers fuel to the eastern U.S. from Texas is shut down. That pipeline projected to reopen later today. In Alabama, prices are more than 30 cents since Harvey made landfall, and it continues on that upward trend.
We continue with some breaking news. The latest person to step up with a huge donation to help the recovery from Hurricane Harvey is an NBA star who plays in Houston. Houston Rockets point guard James Harden is donating $1 million to help get the town straightened out after it was inundated with rain and floodwaters during the storm, which made landfall last weekend. James Harden made the announcement with Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. They spoke at a news conference at the NRG Center, which has housed evacuees since Harvey swamped the Houston area more than a week ago.
It's devastating, man. So many families, were devastated by it. They had to evacuate. It's a sad time, but like I said, we got to try to find a way to push through it, try to find a way to put smiles on people's faces, and get back to being strong as we were before.
We've all heard the phrase, Houston's my second home, like I'm James Harden. Harden went to high school in California but attended college in Arizona. He still calls Houston home. After the announcement, Harden posed for photos with fans and said that the money would go to those who need it. In the Breaking News Center, Zora Asbury, Local 15 News.
In the wake of Hurricane Harvey, deadly floodwaters in southeast Texas are finally starting to recede, leaving displaced homeowners with a mounting mess and heartbreak.
Well, that could be worse. It doesn't matter whether it's 4 inches or 24 inches, it doesn't matter.
While many salvage what they can, others have nowhere to go. The damage is widespread and the need is great. But with donations coming in across the country and the president's promise of support, there's a glimmer of hope.
That's what life's about, helping others, getting them through life. We're all in it together.
Officials say their top priority right now is to clean up debris and find people housing. Texans still in need of help are reaching out to other states for assistance as local medical experts are being taxed beyond their limits. Local neonatal intensive care nurse Stacy Ward works here in Mobile, and she got the call for help in Texas. Stacy tells us this isn't her first time running into a disaster zone.
I went and worked in Baton Rouge when they had the flood last year, and I did 8 weeks then, and so I was kind of familiar with how they do things. And then they called me a couple nights ago to ask if I wanted to go to this disaster and help out, and I said yes. I started the paperwork, and I had to get people to cover my shifts here in our NICU because I'm full-time here, and just use my vacation and go.
Stacy will work in Texas for 2 weeks. She won't learn exactly where she's going until she leaves. A crew from the Mobile County Sheriff's Office kicks off their second week in Houston.
The reception we get is what has been amazing. The thank yous and the hugs and the, man, we couldn't have done this without you. We wasn't even expecting you. We don't know what we would have done without you. And we just say, that's what we're here for.
Deputies tell us the original plan was to serve 500 meals for 7 days, but their efforts have grown with a major need nearby. Crews are waking up at 4 a.m. and working until midnight, serving full boxes of warm, comforting meals to hundreds of first responders and people nearby in need. They plan now to stay until Thursday. We'll continue to bring you the latest on the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey on air and online at local15tv.com. Happening today, while most of you are enjoying a day off from work or school, there are activities taking place around town to celebrate Labor Day and the end of the summer season. Local 15's Megan Gannon has done a little investigation to let the folks that don't want to spend too much time at home, they want to get out and about around the city, what is available. Megan, what's going on citywide?
I've done my research, and here is what you can do Labor Day. If you are looking to kind of do something different, take away, from the barbecues, hitting the pool, we have just a couple things in store for you around town. So first off, we are hitting the Diamond. That's right, we're going to the Hank because today is the last game of the season for the Mobile Bay Bears. They are set to take on the Biloxi Shuckers. It's also every Monday matters at the Hank, which means you can get a free general admission ticket with the donation of 2 non-perishable food items, 2 gently used clothing items, items or 2 books. And the first pitch is set to take place at 12:05 as the Bay Bears are looking to take home a final win over the Biloxi Shuckers for their last game this season. Now, actually happening before the baseball game is the 72nd annual Labor Day Parade, also known as the Toilet Paper Parade, and it will roll out this morning at 10 o'clock. And the parade is hosted by Southwest Alabama Labor Council, and it's going to have more than 2,000 participants tossing local union-made toilet paper provided by Kimberly-Clark's Mobile plant, all to celebrate America's working people. The parade route begins at the Civic Center and winds its way to Bienville Square before heading back to the Civic Center. And again, that parade is kicking off this morning at 10 o'clock, so make sure you get out and about downtown early to get a good spot to catch all of the great little toys and trinkets that they'll be throwing out. If you missed any of this, don't worry, it's all on our website at local15tv.com. In the newsroom, Megan Gannon, Local 15 News.
Turning welding into a labor of love. One local man is taking scrap and making beautiful pieces of art in a way we don't usually see. Ben Schwartz joins me now in the studio. And Ben, first up, we got to tell everybody the name. And it's right here on the hat. What is it, and how'd you come up with it?
Thank you so much. Great to be here. I really appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
Thank you so much to Bailey Industrial for making this happen. Growing up as a kid, we all watched, Christmas movies, the claymation stuff, and we would think of elves in a workshop making toys for children.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted a name that was immediately, instantaneously positive, that somebody can relate to, uplifting, bright, so forth. So an elf working on toys for adult children.
Absolutely.
And then the word work is like work of art kind of thing.
Beautiful.
Thanks so much.
And so are your works of art. First up, tell us how you got the inspiration. This looks like Jaws. I love this. One of my favorite movies. How long did it take you to make this? And how did you, I know where you came up with the idea, but how did you make all this here? This is really cool. Did you have to make every single tooth here with your welding instruments, and how long did it take you?
Yes, ma'am. That's roughly 30 hours or so. The top teeth are spoons. So
really?
Yes, ma'am. Everything was something else. So the frame itself is from a exercise bike frame. The teeth are, and it's just split. It was a tube, and I just cut it down the middle with a angle grinder. The teeth are spoons, like I said, shaped, cut, and all serrated. The bottom teeth are masonry cut nails, cut, shaped, and all that. The gears are from a motorcycle transmission, so on and so forth. So,
well, you turned some pieces around the house into something very beautiful, and I know that you spent a lot of time on it. Obviously, not too expensive to make, but a real big labor of love. What about this piece right here? This is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Arc Zone, a company out of California, was putting on a spring maker thing. So this is a couple years ago. So this is for our daughter, my wife and I's daughter. We obviously labor of love, like you said. And,
right.
So I don't even remember what this is scrapped from, but in here is a screw. This is a nail up here.
And this is the flower.
Yes, ma'am. This here is a Harley Davidson exhaust pipe, just cut and shaped.
No way.
Yes, ma'am. There's
very cool.
The stamen here, I believe that's what it's called. I don't know if it's a pistol or stamen anymore. Biology's old, but that's a spark plug. This is a sconce from a candelabra. This is a...
and you welded all this yourself, Ben?
Yes.
Okay, we have very little time.
Yes.
Let's talk about this piece of art. This is way cool here. What is this made out of?
Thank you. Saw blades, plasma cut saw blades. This is a motorcycle transmission again. These are some pliers. These are paper shredder blades, cut, shaped, and all. Screws. This is glass, and they're put on with a 5-minute adhesive kind of thing.
Now, Ben, there's going to be a lot of people at home that see your work. I would love to have this in my den. This would be great for like a condo on the beach anywhere. So, like, what can we do if we want to get your artwork? And do you have commissions? Like, if I said, Ben, I want you to create a ballerina. I mean, do you do commission work? Do you sell your pieces? How can we get more of your things into our homes?
Very kind of you, thank you. I'm on Instagram as Elfworks. So all of these are either requests or commissions, all of them. Most of these are going to different places. I just haven't shipped them out yet. They're near finished. But Elfworks on Instagram or Facebook, ELFWERKS. Also Elfworks@live.com. and we'll go from there.
Very
Thank
cool. You've just impressed me,
Thank you so
and
kindly.
I'm sure that you've impressed the viewers too. Very great. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Love all your work.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, a nuclear test in North Korea, leaving countries around the globe on high alert. 2 ways the U.S. is responding and why our response is leaving China on edge. Here's a look at the live pinpoint Doppler. No rain this morning. A small chance later today, but boy, are we seeing things heat up in the tropics. I will bring you a look at Irma coming up, but we've got golden sunshine and Gulf shores. Take advantage of the gorgeous weather. It's not going to last that long, folks. Your forecast up next.
Local 15 weather with meteorologist Kelly Foster.
Good morning, everybody. You are going to love today's Labor Day forecast. We have a 10% or less chance of rain today. We already have beautiful sun rays over in Gulf Shores and Dauphin Island. And as far as the heat is concerned, well, it's going to be building, but we're going to be in the seasonal saddle today. I'll tell you what else is building, and that's Hurricane Irma. A Cat 3 right now, set to strengthen to a Cat 4 as early as Tuesday, and it's about 2,500 miles from Mobile. So we do have plenty of time to track it. No need to panic. Just have a hurricane plan in place just in case. Right now, max sustained winds at 115. It's moving west-southwest at 14. Watch what happens. Cat 4 early Tuesday morning, set to cruise close to the islands here and become a Category 3 early Saturday. So all of this is very preliminary. Take a look at the cone of uncertainty. We can see the center of circulation anywhere within this cone. So we do have time to track it, but we are hoping that this begins to make a curve to the north and not move into the Gulf of Mexico. But notice the spaghetti models continuing with that westward trend. So all hands on deck with this one, watching it very close. A beautiful day to be off work. Great day for the kids to be out of school. Full sun at 7, 69, 86 at lunch, 90 will be the high today at 3 o'clock, and 87 by 5. No surprise that we are beginning to approach the peak of hurricane season. Back behind Irma, we have a tropical wave that has a 70% formation chance over the next 5 days. It's near the Cabo Verde Islands. The next name up is Jose. Plus, we have another area of disturbed weather in the southern Gulf. 30% formation chance over the next 5 days. That is drifting to the north and west. So we're going to be watching every inch of the tropics every step of the way. Labor Day looks great. Very slim rain chances. Midweek, we are going to have a weather maker. A front to our north is going to begin to slip southward and enhance our rain threat. 7 a.m. this morning, beautiful sunshine. Few clouds hug the coast. No change at 5. As we head into your Tuesday, a few additional clouds moving in, and then by Tuesday afternoon, a few showers. By Tuesday night, the front begins to slip south and bring some wet weather to our slice of the Gulf Coast. If you want to take the boat out today, a light chop. Seas are going to be about a foot or less, and east wind 5 to 10. And there's your 7-day. The rain ramping up to a 60% chance by midweek. Take a look at these temperatures, though, in the wake of that front. We're going to have a push of some cooler and drier air ushered in behind that system. We're talking wake-up numbers in the 50s Thursday and Friday morning. Here's a look at traffic. I-10 at Rangeline. It's sunny, it's dry, a great drive this morning. I-10 at I-65, no accidents to show you. We're glad about that too. And where the Bayway meets the Causeway, so far so good. Traffic extremely light.
New this morning, more than 150 hikers who spent Saturday night trapped between 2 Oregon wildfires were reunited with their loved ones just last night. The final group took a bus ride to meet their friends and family. Deputies say one hiker was taken out by ambulance for exhaustion and dehydration. Now, many of the hikers had gone up the Eagle Creek Trail on Saturday to swim at the popular waterfalls and pools, but a fire broke out near the Columbia River Gorge Trail about 90 miles east of Portland. Now, that blaze was burning on the Eagle Creek Trail, and the only other way out was longer and more difficult. So those people have been reunited with their families. Mountain Wave Search and Rescue dropped supplies to those hikers while they were stuck, and the search and rescue teams headed up the second trail on and led the hikers out. In the Breaking News Center, Zora Asbury, Local 15 News.
The largest nuclear test ever done in North Korea now sends shockwaves around the globe. The U.S., Japan, France, Great Britain, and South Korean diplomats call for an emergency UN Security Council meeting this morning.
향후 북한은 국가 기관 명의로 핵 강대국 반열에 진입했다는.
North Korea right now, it's the most dangerous place on the face of the planet.
South Korea responded by test firing a surface-to-surface ballistic missile, and new overnight while you were sleeping, the South conducted a live fire drill. President Trump met with his national security team Sunday at the White House. Afterwards, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis gave a stern warning to the North Korean leader.
Any threat to the United States or its territories, including Guam, or our allies, will be met with a massive military response, a response both effective and overwhelming.
President Trump remained vague when asked if he would order an attack on the rogue nation. He tweeted he's considering ending all trade with any country doing business with North Korea. That could mean cutting economic ties with China. President Donald Trump expected to end the program that grants amnesty to undocumented immigrants that came here as children. Currently, about 800,000 benefit from the program. Sources familiar with the decision tell CNN the president won't take action for at least 6 months. That allows Congress time to come up with a permanent solution. Several state attorneys threatened to sue if DACA is allowed to continue. President Trump expected to make a formal announcement Tuesday. Coming up after the break, stories you need to know before you head out the door. But first, here's a look at what's next on the Today Show.
Good morning. Coming up here on Today, the latest overnight on the North Korea crisis, the regime's most powerful nuclear test yet, leading to a show of force from South Korea. All of this as the White House warns of a massive military response of its own. We'll have complete coverage this morning.
Also ahead, the violent arrest of a Utah nurse that's put police conduct in the spotlight. This morning, she's with us in Studio 1A for her first live interview.
Those stories, plus that big baby news from the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. We are live at Kensington Palace.
And we have the scoop on the best Labor Day sales, what to buy and where to shop when we see you right here on Today.
In this morning's News to Go, Alabama under a state of emergency to prevent price gouging on gas prices in the wake of Harvey. Governor Kay Ivey amended a previously issued declaration Friday, putting companies on notice that price gouging is illegal. The governor says the storm temporarily shut down oil refineries in Texas and Louisiana, causing a spike in state prices here. However, Ivey says the stress on refineries does not justify the unreasonable prices. Celebrate your Labor Day at the Hank. It's the Mobile Bay Bears' last game of the season, and they're taking on the Biloxi Shuckers. Or go downtown for the 72nd Labor Day Parade in Mobile. The parade route begins at the Civic Center and winds its way to Bienville Square before heading back to the Civic Center. It starts at 10 a.m. Here's a look at the live pinpoint Doppler on this Labor Day. We are starting out with dry conditions, a 10% chance or less as far as the rain coverage is concerned today. But boy, are the tropics heating up. We are looking at Cat 3 Hurricane Irma, about 2,500 miles from Mobile. She is tightly wound, and she is set to become a Cat 4 as early as Tuesday. So you can see she's moving in a west-southwest trajectory at about 14 miles per hour. Max sustained winds at 120 miles per hour. And then notice as we head into early Saturday morning, she will be back at a Cat 3, but still a major hurricane. We'll talk more about your 7-day forecast coming up. Before you walk out the door, we want to know, if you had your choice, would you rather donate your body to science or donate your organs to people who need them? This is a tough one. Leave your answers on our Facebook page, Local 15 News. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. It's going to be a beautiful Labor Day, lovely along the Gulf Coast, 90 degrees the high, 10% chance of a shower, 30% tomorrow, best chance of rain, ladies, Wednesday. Then we could possibly wear the cardigans by late week. Today's show's next. I'll see you back here at noon.